All right, this is Dan Meehan for Fight News Australia, and today we have Josh Culibao, who fights Sha Yilan this Sunday Australian time at UFC Fight Night Font versus Garbrandt. Josh, how are you?
I'm great. I'm great. Feeling good. Weight's on point, and I'm ready to fight.
Fantastic. So first of all, the nickname Kuya, I did some a little bit of research last night, and it seems to translate to older brother. I'm guessing, is
Yep.
that a name that you've grown up with?
Yep. The funny story with Kuya is that I'm actually the youngest of four brothers. So I'm the youngest of four, and I have three older brothers, and I call all my older brothers Kuya. So it's funny that I'm called Kuya now because, yeah, I'm the youngest of the four of us. So I should be calling them Kuya, but that's my nickname now, which is Kuya. So,
Right.
yeah.
There you go. So yeah, I've been obviously I've been trying to research your background a little bit. So it looks like you were born in Sydney to a Filipino parents. Can you tell us a little bit about your background, or as much as you're comfortable to share, of course?
Yeah, both my parents are born and raised in Philippines, and then they moved to Sydney, Australia, and at I think 86 or 85, and then yeah, they just started their life in Sydney, and that's where I was born. So yeah.
Nice. And yeah, how did you get into MMA, and sort of when did it become a dream to make it to the UFC?
Um, I was always drawn to martial arts due to my dad always putting like martial arts films on, and like Bruce Lee films, and a lot of boxing was always like in the household. And a big part of it was my brother doing taekwondo. Um, he started taekwondo really young, and just for just to do something outside of school, like an extra activity to do outside of school. And yeah, he got pretty serious with it. He ended up getting his black belt, and then forced me and my other brother Joseph to follow him, and go down that same road of trying to get a black belt in taekwondo. And so that's where it began. And then I ended up finding other martial arts that seemed a bit more, I wouldn't call it like more realistic to the terms of like we weren't doing like sort of patterns and forms and katas sort of thing, but more so like where it was more applicable, like if someone was to attack me on the street sort of thing. And so I found kickboxing, and then I had a look, tried to find a kickboxing gym, and then I ended up stumbling into a jiu-jitsu gym, which basically started yeah, it just snowballed into this now. So yeah.
And how did you find your way to sort of to Eagle MMA? It's probably one of the lesser known gyms in UFC circles. Like, how did you end up there, and what sort of impact have they had on your career?
So the first gym I had was called Excel Combat Academy, and that gym closed down due to financial reasons. And then yeah, I was stuck without a gym, so I ended up looking for a gym, and it just so happened that Eagle MMA was there, and it wasn't too far from my house. And yeah, so I hit up Eagle MMA, and then my coach Igor now, like we've just clicked since day one, and yeah, so we just clicked from day one, and now here we are.
Do you see yourself following in Igor's footsteps and doing some stunt work once you're done with fighting? Or
Nah, that's not for me. That's not for me. But definitely, I'm gonna follow in his footsteps in terms of trying to start my own school and have my own gym.
fantastic. All right. Now, looking back at your last fight, you're a pretty heavy underdog against Charles Jourdain, and put in a huge performance on the night, but came out with a pretty disputed split draw. I think from memory, one of the judges gave the last round 10-8 for Jourdain, which was probably ultimately cost you the decision.
Yep.
Can you tell us a little bit about that fight and how you felt in there?
Um, the fight was good. I feel like I shut a lot of people up because people were, I was a heavy underdog considering how bad my performance was on my debut. So I got to, show glimpses of what I can actually do against a pretty, touted prospects in the division. So it was good in that aspect. I feel like I could have done a bit more. but then again, it's just all experience. And yeah, yeah, I wish I could have done a bit more, but again, yeah, it's just experience. Getting that octagon time is super valuable.
And yeah, this time around you're taking on the Wolverine, Sha Yilan of China. He has a 19-6 record, which is a considerable amount of experience for a UFC debutant. How much do you know about him, and how do you feel you guys match up?
It's hard to kind of get fights on him. I don't know why the Chinese regional circuit doesn't have much film on their matches, or I'm not too sure why it's like that. But from what I've seen, I think he matches up perfectly for me. I've fought a lot of guys very similar to him, short, stocky, strong, looking to take me down, control me, or push me up against the fence and just hold me down and sort of win the fight round by round, sort of thing. So I've dealt with that sort of problem my whole career, and I think I match up perfect. I think this fight will showcase a lot of. I'll get to showcase, a lot of my skills. A lot of my skills will shine with this stylistic matchup.
Right, and how's training camp been? I'm told you've been spending plenty of time down at the UFC PI.
Yep, man. Since I've been here, I've definitely used it to my advantage. The team here is like state of the art. The team is always looking out for you. The nutritionists, the physio, everything. Everyone there is just so helpful. And yeah, it's been awesome being able to use the UFC PI.
And what's it like in Vegas at the moment? I imagine it's a pretty different experience over there at the moment, given the COVID restrictions and everything that's going on over there.
They're pretty full on with having the masks on, and not obviously not compared to Sydney, where Sydney's pretty much normal. But yeah, here it's pretty full on with the whole masks and stuff like that. But now that we're in I was a little bit paranoid before we entered the UFC bubble, because yeah, we were sort of like, kind of interacting with people, but not really, but like still going to cafes and stuff and restaurants, and kind of got me a bit paranoid. But I'm glad that we're finally in the UFC bubble now.
And what does fight week look like in the COVID era? Obviously, it's probably pretty different to pre-COVID. There'd be less media days and open workouts and such. What does the week look like for you?
It's still similar. Very a lot of through the phone interviews. A lot of phone interviews. It's not much difference besides having our own limousine to drive us back and forth from the hotel to the UFC PI. So other than that, nothing's really different.
Doesn't sound too shabby at all, other than being stuck doing media all day in your hotel room. So apologies for that.
Oh, good.
So I know you have some connections with Alexander Volkanovski. Have you been involved with the tough filming at all, or training with Alex while you're over there? Or
yeah, I was able to help out and mix it up with the boys a little bit. So I was able to do that at the end of last week. So that was a pretty cool experience just to be a part of that.
Hey, I bet. All right, now when you visualize your fight on Sunday, how do you see yourself getting it done?
I think I'm going to catch him early. I think I get this job done first round, if not first round, early in the second round. I just feel like the style that he sort of brings, he kind of blitzes forward, and I feel like I'm just going to catch him. He's going to come in forward looking for a big shot or looking for a takedown, and I just see myself catching him. I visualized it so much, so I just feel like that's the shot that's going to land, and that's it. Game over.
Right, and I always have to ask this one when fighters are fighting overseas, but what are you going to do for 2 weeks in hotel quarantine when you get home?
Well, lucky for me, I was able to bring my PlayStation, so this is what I'm going to be mostly doing. But yeah, trying to somehow still stay fit in there, and yeah, hopefully don't consume too much Uber Eats and alcohol. So.
Yeah, sounds like you got a solid plan there. All right, before I let you go, do you have any sponsors or anyone you'd like to shout out? I'll hand over to you.
Yep. I'd like to shout out to a few people. First, I'd like to shout out to CMBT Nutrition, BF95 Athletes Nutrition. Who else? I can't really think off the top of my head. I'm sort of like in a mid weight cut right now, so can't really think to the top of my head. But shout out to all my sponsors. You know who you are. Yeah.
Oh, Joshua, thank you so much for stopping by. I know it's really last minute and it's been a pain trying to organise a time. So I appreciate you taking some time out of your weight cut to talk to me, and
All
all
good.
the best on Sunday.
All good. Thank you, Dan.